Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Lakers trade pitch would move LeBron James for 3 first-rounders and more. The idea of pairing LeBron James and Stephen Curry is an exciting one. Whether it'd be with the Los Angeles Lakers or Golden State Warriors, basketball fans around the world would get to watch two all-time greats play together. The Lakers would need to wait until after December 15 before making this deal, since Anderson was brought on as a free agent this summer, Kirschenbaum wrote on September 24. Obviously, Golden State would likely prefer to ditch Moses Moody over the more promising Kuminga, but the two sides may be pretty far apart from terms on a contract extension, to the point where it might behoove them to move on. Given James' advanced age, the Warriors may balk at offloading 3 future first-round picks, but his current talent would certainly make him worth the long-term risk. The Los Angeles Lakers and Golden State Warriors discussed a trade for James during the trade deadline last year. However, according to Ramona Shelburne of ESPN, neither the Lakers nor James were willing to negotiate a deal. Over a clandestine 24-hour window prior to the trade deadline Thursday that included owner-to-owner conversations, the Golden State Warriors made an unsuccessful bid to convince the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James to consider a trade to pair him with longtime rival Stephen Curry, sources told ESPN. The Warriors were eager to present a package deal to LA, but neither the Lakers nor James were willing to explore a potential blockbuster, Shelburne wrote on February 14. Even at 39 years old, James is still playing at an all-NBA level that stirred the Warriors' imagination about his ability to extend the window of the franchise's fading dynasty. While those trade talks didn't go anywhere last deadline, it's always possible that they come up again. There could be some backlash if James were to leave the Los Angeles Lakers for the Golden State Warriors. According to Mark Stein of Substack, James' agent, Rich Paul, was adamantly against trading James to the Warriors. It is believed that the Lakers would have reluctantly entertained trade conversations with the Warriors before last February's trade deadline if James wanted them to seriously engage Golden State on a potential deal, Stein wrote in August. Yet league sources say that the reported talks between the teams at the time never got that far, in large part because James' agent Rich Paul was adamantly opposed to the idea of James swapping Southern California for Northern California. If James, the Lakers, and his agent didn't want to finalize a deal last deadline, that could indicate that he wants to finish his career in Los Angeles. James signed a 2-year, $101 million deal in the offseason to stay with the Lakers. Warriors take calculated risk hoping to revive career of notable draft bust. Kevin Knox too is a Golden State Warriors player. That feels weird to write, even if the chances of him being on the final roster entering the season remain slim. The 25-year-old was signed to an Exhibit 10 contract on Wednesday, giving the Warriors an opportunity to evaluate Knox during training camp and preseason before deciding whether to retain him over the non-guaranteed contracts of Gue Santos or Lindy Waters III. On the surface, Knox isn't your prototypical Golden State-type player. Criticisms of him have often surrounded his tunnel vision on offense. He takes the meaning score-first player to the extreme, and that scoring hasn't been efficient throughout his 6 years in the league. Knox averages more turnovers than assists in his career for a team that prides itself on ball and player movement, and quick and efficient decision-making. This could be a disaster. The Warriors are looking to win and rejuvenate their dynasty, yet have just signed a player who holds a career plus-minus of -1,230. The 6'7" forward averaged a relatively inefficient 12.8 points in his rookie year, having played nearly 29 minutes per game on a bad New York Knicks team. There were signs of potential, but ultimately it's been all downhill from there, with Knox bouncing around the league and never again averaging more than 6.6 points or 18.1 minutes in a season. Yet Golden State are looking past all that and the obvious concerns with Knox, and are rather placing faith in themselves to revive a player who's become a fairly notable draft bust. In fact, in a 2023 article outlining the Knicks' all-time draft bust starting five, FanSided's Josh Cornelison simply had to feature Knox in the lineup. Knox doesn't have any familiarity with success throughout his career to date. He's always been at losing teams, and ones that were actively trying to lose. The Warriors may not be the team they once were, but they still have the key pillars in place like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and head coach Steve Kerr. Could that unlock something in Knox that the previous incompetent franchises couldn't? To his credit, he seems to have the right attitude. Willingly heading to Summer League as a top 10 pick after 6 years is commendable, let alone accepting a bench role and proving impactful to the point of a 30-point outing in the final game. This is a calculated risk on the franchise's environment and developmental program, rather than just on Knox himself as a player. There remains a high likelihood that it doesn't work out and that he's waived after the preseason, but maybe there's something there that could defy expectations and see this peculiar Warriors-Knox pairing last a little while longer. Warriors signed forward Kevin Knox to a 1-year deal. The Golden State Warriors made a late free agent addition to their roster ahead of training camp. According to multiple reports, the Warriors are bringing in forward Kevin Knox on a 1-year deal. Knox reportedly isn't guaranteed a spot on the 15-man roster. Instead, he will have to compete for it during training camp. Knox is already familiar with the Warriors organization. He played for the franchise during the California Classic while also making 6 appearances in the Las Vegas Summer League, in which he averaged 16.0 points and 7.2 rebounds. If he manages to get a roster spot, Knox would likely be a low-cost bench option for Golden State. The team is currently hard-capped and can only offer him a veteran's minimum, which in Knox's case would be around $3 million. Kevin Knox entered the league in 2018 as the 9th overall pick by the New York Knicks. He had an encouraging rookie year, averaging 12.8 points and 4.5 rebounds per game, but never managed to build on the early promise. The Knicks traded Knox to the Atlanta Hawks midway through his 4th year with the franchise, and he later also played with the Portland Trail Blazers and had 2 separate stints with the Detroit Pistons. Knox started the 2023-24 season with the Pistons and played in 31 games, including 11 starts while averaging 7.2 points and 2.4 rebounds. He ended up being traded to the Utah Jazz ahead of the trade deadline and waived shortly afterward. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Kevin Knox? Leave your opinion in the comments.